Also wir beginnen erst um halb.
Ach so?
Ja.
In 15, 13 Minuten.
Ja, genau.
Ah, okay.
Hat er zumindest, wurde mir gesagt.
Ja, hab's jetzt auch gehört.
Ja. Aber ich wollte mich schon mal hinsetzen. Scheinbar war das die Folge wirklich.
Okay.
We're getting
Dann-
in the zone.
Cât trebuie să așteptăm?
Decla jumate.
5 minute, 10?
12 müssen pare. Bis jetzt 18, oder? 15, 18. Oder?
Ja, Moment.
Ah, ich bin ein bisschen Schasauger.
15, 18, ne?
Să știu dacă pot să
12 minute.
fumez sau nu.
12 minute. Până cu și eu mă scol. Și eu mă fac
Geht doch
Pause.
easy Holder. Stell mal easy Holder, ja.
Nee, dann komme ich halt in ein paar Minuten. No, it's okay, But start getting hot.
Because
12 minutes.
bei der Abend ist keine Zeit, es ist keine Pause gehabt. Da fehlt eine Stunde Pause. But your table was. Wahnsinn. Super. Oh ja, endlich. Finally.
Oh no, I see your whole card.
Okay. Whoa. Okay. There's a large chair too. I can share without myself. Så I kan sådan en livestream kommentere. Vi spiller var.
Okay. Wo wird überhaupt ausgestrahlt?
Hier auf YouTube.
YouTube direkt live? Aha.
Jetzt gerade. Mit 30 Sekunden Delay kann ich mich selbst beobachten oder so wie.
Aber es ist eine große Latenz, oder? 30 Sekunden.
30 Sekunden, es werden keine Holdcards gezeigt. Das ist nur ja, aber es wird archiviert, da kann ich nicht sehen, wie schlecht ich spiele.
Also noch 2 Spieler. 8 players, or?
So, welcome back to Vienna for day 7, 8, 8, day 8. Lose track. It's a Friday, I'll tell you that. That's as much as I know. First event of the day is No Limit Hold'em Survivor Shootout Championship. We are down to our final table, 8 players remaining. I'll run down here. We've got these guys are all starting with the same stack now on this final table. 10k starting stack on a 20-minute clock. We have Marcus Polzer in seat 1, Bastian Krummel seat 2, Philip Schicker seat 3, Dory Lementi in seat 4, Kevin O'Hanlon in seat 5, Just Alex in seat 6, Bernard Benoit in seat 7, and Ricky Buckland in seat 8. So this is the No Limit Hold'em Survivor Shootout. How this works is at the end of each level, if we've not lost a player, we eliminate the shortest stack from the table. We start that from the end of level 2, so they get level 1 just to have a little bit of an ease into the game. But then it starts getting pretty frenetic as we have to lose the shortest stack from the table. You'll be able to catch up with the blog on apat.com/forum. Go and find the live updates. Mr. Tom Brady is in the hot seat for blogging this final table. He's shaking his head going, no, he's going to get Lucy to do it. So loads going on today. So this final table's already playing. We have the Open Face Chinese going on at the moment. We have Raz playing at the moment. We have the final day of the main event starting at 5 o'clock. And then later on this evening, we have a fusion event, which is a pot limit Hold'em stroke Omaha game. I will explain it later on for anyone that was interested. So first hand in. And we've got a board of 5 Jack Deuce. And a bet from Philip, and Dory raises it up, and that's going to take that one down. Dory wins the first hand. As I say, so these guys are going to get 40 minutes of play effective before we can start to think about eliminating a player to 2 levels. Jürgen comes over to wish the German players good luck. So buttons with Kevin, Alex in the small blind, and Bernard in the big blind. Ricky first to act fold. In fact, we folded all the way around to the blinds, and first walk of the final table.
You don't pick the 5. I'm good with a 7 eye. I just say if you don't win with a 5 or what?
Yeah, well, just coming straight.
Yeah, I know. I say.
Even if you hadn't yet.
Yeah.
So on we go. Very early stages here. So Kev makes it 100 to go. Blinds are started at 25.50 here. 10k starting stack. And it's a re-raise from Bernard. So Bernard scoops that one. And on we go. So yes, so the Fusion event later on tonight is a new live variant for us. We think it possibly is the first time this variant will have been played live anywhere. And the way it plays out is you get 2 cards to start with, and then on the flop you get dealt a 3rd card, and on the turn you get dealt a 4th card, and then you play it out as Omaha. So on we go, Ricky's button this time, which means it's Marcus in the small blind, Bastian in the big blind, and Philip has limped in under the gun, and Alex has made a call as well. And Bernard raises it up to 250. Fold from Ricky. Marcus folds in the small. Bastian folds, as does Philip. So back round to Alex now, top right of your screen, and she's going to make the call, which she does. So it'll be 2 players to the flop. And the flop is going to be 5-3-8. Check from Alex, and Bernard bets out 400. So she makes the call, and so this here deuce on the turn, checks again, and this time the bet is 1200. And it's another check call from Alex. So we'll see another deuce on the river. Final check. Is Bernard going to fire one more shot at this hand? No, he checks this time. And he shows pair of 7s, and that is good enough. And he wins that hand. That's going to put Alex as our shorter stack at this table now. So for those that are just joining, this is the Shootout Survivor. So we lose a player at the end of each level. We eliminate the shortest stack if we haven't lost a player naturally at that point. They get a bye for the first level, so they get to play 2 levels before we'll start eliminations. 20-minute clock, 10k starting stack. This is the final table, so these guys have already got through their earlier sit and go to get through to this. So Dory raises it up under the gun to 125. Kev folds, Alex folds. Bernard's going to make the call, as does Ricky. Round we go then. Bottom left of your screen. Fold, fold from Marcus and Bastian. And the big blind of Philip makes up the bet, so 4 players to the flop. And it's 10 ace jack. Goes check. Dory bets again, 300. Round we go to Bernard, right hand side of your screen. And he's going to make the call. Ricky, bottom right. And he calls as well, so it'll be 3 players to a turn. And it's a 9 on the turn. Brings 2 clubs now to the 2 hearts that were already on the board. And Dory fires again, 1,000 this time. Bernard glances across the table at her. After giving a cheeky little, and he folds. Ricky makes the call. Bernard just questioning the 15-second shot clock, which we have on this as well. So Ricky calls and shows Queen 9. And Dory had flopped the straight, and Ricky hit the flush, and Ricky scoops.
Raise 150. We raise 450. Alex 125.
So Bastian raises it up to 125 and gets 3 callers. And 4 players are therefore going to see deuce, king, ace. So 300 is the bet from Marcus, and all 3 have called. So we're going to see the 7 on the turn. So we've got Marcus, Bastian, Philip and Dory all in this hand. So Dory checks and Marcus makes it 700. And he gets counted down and folds, and the other 2 make the call. So 3 players to the river. And it's a 10 on the river. Check from Dory again. Will Marcus fire out one more time? Looks like he's counting chips out. It does, makes it 1200. And very quickly Philip says them all in. And gets a call. And it's pocket kings for Marcus, and Philip has rivered the Broadway straight. Just doing a count up here. And Marcus is going to be left with 175 chips after that. Yeah.
Nein, er war Big Blind, jetzt ist es Small Blind. Ja. No, he was in the big now, you're in the small. Yeah, it's correct. That's right, yeah. No. He changed.
So on we go. Kevin the small blind, Alex in the big. We fold round. So we're round to the blinds actually, and Kevin makes up the small blind. Alex checks. So it'll be 2 players to the flop. Goes check check on a Queen 8 Jack. So we see another Jack, and it goes check check again, and 6 on the river. I think Kevin's going to have a stab at this. He does for 225, and Alex folds. So Marcus is all in for 175 and has got 2 callers so far in Bastian and Philip, and a 3rd caller in Alex, and a 4th caller in Bernard. So he's got value in this pot. So 5 players to the flop. And it's a deuce, ace, jack. All Marcus can do is check, and it's check round, and Bastian bets out 500 and gets a caller in Philip. So we've got a side pot building here now. Other 2 get out of the way, so we'll see a king on the turn. And Bastian fires out 500 again. Philip calls. So we'll see a queen on the river. Check, check. Ace queen for Bastian, ace 9 for Philip, jack 6 for Marcus, and Bastian will scoop the lot, and we will lose Marcus in 8th place. So blinds are now 50-100. And due to Marcus's exit, we would have eliminated somebody at the end of this level now where they're playing, but we will now be okay until the end of level 3. Well, if we don't lose anybody by then, somebody will be eliminated. So we see a board of King, Queen, 7, and Bastian and Philip check, and Dory bets out of 300, and Bernard makes the call. Bastian and Philip fold, so it will be 2 players to the turn. And it's a 9 on the turn. Dory bets 300. Bernard makes the call. And a 7 on the river. And it's gone check, check this time. Dory shows King 5 for top pair. That's good enough. Dory currently leads the way in the APAT Ladies series, having final tabled 3 events, and so he's going to add some more points to her total here for the playing for the Tiffany bracelet, courtesy of our partners, Poker League of Nations, Plon. A really nice gesture from them to provide a bracelet for the highest ranked female player at the World Championships. Yeah. And Dory very much has a good lead in that rankings, but loads more events to go yet. So Dory's under the gun this time. And flat calls, Kevin folds, Alex folds, Bernard folds. Decision round on Ricky, bottom right of your screen, baseball cap on. And he raises it up to 300. Bastian folds. And Philip calls. And Dory's going to call the 300 as well. So we're going to be 3 players to the flop. And the flop is 6, Jack 5. 2 very quick folds from the top left of your screen. So decision on Ricky, who's on the button. And he fires out a bet of 650. And Philip folds, Dory makes the call. So it'll be 2 players to the turn. And the turn is a 9. Dory says I'm all in. Decision on Ricky, bottom right of your screen. He's got 15 seconds. And he folds. Very nice play from Dory there. So Ricky's raised it up to 225 and has got a caller in Bastian, Philip and Dory. So will be 4 players to this flop. And it's a 9, a 6 and a deuce. Something for everybody. Let's check round. So Ricky fires out again, 400 this time. And Bastian folds, Philip folds, and Dory from the big blind is going to call. So will be 2 players to the turn, same 2 players as in the last hand. And it's a jack on the turn. Goes check, check this time. And a 3 on the river. And Dory fires out a bet of 1,700. Really puts the pressure back on Ricky. Ricky calls. Dory shows Jack 6. And yeah, that's good enough. Ricky folds. So raise from Alex. And I think, yep, that's going to get through, and it does. So Kevin Smallblind, Alex Nabig, and Bernard folds, Ricky folds, bottom right of his screen. So round we go to Bastian on the left. He folds. Philip makes a call, and Dory is going to raise it up. Blind's get out of the way, and Philip's going to make the call. So we'll be 2 players to see a flop, and it's 8-9-5. Goes check, check. So we see a jack on the turn, and it's gone check, check again. So 3 on the river, and it goes check, check. Ace king for Dory, and there's a jack there for Philip. Didn't want to bet the turn, trying to trap, I think, there, but Dory wasn't falling for it. So a couple of aces and a 5 and a deuce on this board, and a bet out from Alex takes it down. So plenty going on in the card room today. Open Face Chinese Championship currently going. The Raz Championship is on the go as well. This is the final table of the No Limit Hold'em Survivor Shootout. And at 5 o'clock we've got the final main event, day 1, day 1D. Starts at 5. So call from Philip. Around we go to Kevin. Kevin's been very quiet at this final table so far. Not really got involved in the hand. Alex on the button, and she raises it up to 600. And the blinds are going to get out of the way, and Philip's going to make the call. So we'll be 2 players to the flop. Philip top left of your screen, Alex top right of your screen. And the board is ace deuce 4. Quick check from Philip, and a check from Alex. Don't forget these players are on a 15-second shot clock. So the 9 on the turn brings a check from Philip. And Alex fires out a bet of, let's see, what's that? 400 is the bet. And gets called by Philip. So we see another 9 on the river. And this time Philip bets out 600. And Alex raises it up to 2,000. Very quick call from Philip. Alex has got 10-9. And Philip's got 10-9. Snap. And we chop it up. And all got a little bit too aggressive at the end there. So they're both rivered trips. And we chop it up. So for anyone just joining, this is the Survivor Shootout final table. So these guys have already played one sit and go to qualify for this. So it started with a 10,000 starting stack on a 20-minute clock. And how this works is we basically eliminate the shortest stack at the end of each level, assuming we have not naturally lost a player. So this has a finite finish time. They get a buy in the first level to kind of find their feet, but we're now in level 2, but we've already lost Marcus from seat 1, which means that's our elimination for level 2 done. So they don't need to start sweating until the end of level 3 now. Although the aircon's not great in this card room, so they might start sweating sooner than that, to be honest. Especially when the card room's busy, as it is today. Plenty of cash games going on as well. Absolutely fantastic venue. Concord Card Casino in Simmering in Vienna. Been absolutely superb host for us all week, and we're here till Sunday. So raise from Alex gets called by Bastien in the big blind, so it'll be 2 players to the flop. And it's 5-4-3, 2 hearts, check from Bastien, check from Alex. And it's the Queen of Hearts on the turn. Goes check again, which means we will see an 8 on the river. 1 final check from Bastien, and Alex fires out a bet of 275. And gets called very quickly by Bastien. Alex is just going to fold. So Alex folds. Bastien says, do I have to show? Answer is no. So on we go. So, Dory limps under the gun, as does Kevin, or limps anyway, as does Bernard, and Bastien makes up the small blind, check from the big blind, so we're seeing a board of 4, King, 6, and it checks all the way around, so we see a Queen on the turn. Alright, 5 players in this, and nobody wants to take a stab. Ace on the river. Check. Is Bernard going to fire? He is. 300. Very sensible, sir. And it goes fold. And Kevin O'Hanlon's going to make the call. And Bernard shows an ace. Ace 5. And Kevin has ace 10. And the 10's going to play. It feels like he's just been keved a little bit there, but it's not really. It's not a real kev, but he's Kevin O'Hanlon wins that pot. So on we go. Players have got 3 minutes left of this level. So a raise by Bernard has been called by Bastian and Philip and Dory in the blinds. And they see a board of 3-8 jack. And it goes check, check, round to Bernard again, who makes it 700. And Bastian calls, and the blinds get out of the way, so it'll be two players, Bastian and Bernard. Bastian on the left-hand side of your screen, Bernard on the right. And they will see a 4 on the turn. And Bastian makes it 1200. Bernard gives him a little glance up, and I think then realises he's on a shot clock, and very quickly makes a call. So we'll see the river, and it's king on the river. So there's 3 spades on the board as well, and it's 2,500 from Bastian this time. Bernard folds. Pretty much shot clock timed him down there. I think he's finding it quite tough with his 15-second decisions. But it means you've just got to be very focused on the stacks that your opponents have got, and working at your ranges and kind of just thinking a little bit ahead of what you're going to do. So we'll get one more hand in of this level. And it's Philip's button this time, so Dory in the small blind, Kevin in the big blind, which means it'll be Alex to act first, and she's going to fold. Round we go to Bernard. And he makes it 350. Ricky folds. Bastian folds. And Philip's going to make the call. Dory folds. And Kevin folds, so we will be 2 players to the flop. So it's Jack, Deuce, 4. And Bernard bets 500 and folds.
Now it's 100, 200. Service bitte auf Finaltisch.
Tom Brady's joined me in the update area. How's it going, Tom?
Going well, Lee. Going well. Yes, brandies are on order.
Already? That's early. That's early today. Yeah?
No, it's great. Final table of shootout. OFC still going. Raz going. Main event registration open.
And we're about to get quite busy for the main event, yeah?
We are indeed, yeah. But everyone's talking about the fusion game tonight.
Yes, I have been explaining that on the stream already. So.
Yeah, I've never seen it live. I've never seen it, so that is going to be really interesting.
So plenty going on. As I posted earlier on Facebook, wherever you are in the world, just get yourself to Vienna for the weekend.
Yeah. Jump the flight.
Absolutely. The sun's shining. What more could you want? You'll be in a card room for all the time, but with no windows. But still, yeah. So we're now at a point where we will eliminate a player at the end of this level if necessary. We've got 17 minutes left. So we are starting to get to that time now where they've got to start looking at the stacks, see whether they're in the danger zone. Alex is going to raise it up here on a board of King 5-8 after I think Kev had made a had limped, and yeah, I think Kev's fooling the table here. I get the feeling they think he's never played before, but they're both going to see a king on the turn anyway. And Alex fires out a bet again of 500, and 500 is the is called by Kev. So we're going to see a 5 on the river, and it's gone check check, and Alex shows a 5, and Kevin's got a 5 as well. So they're going to chop it up. So just confirm with the dealer, yeah, it is chopping it up. Yeah, Kevin seems quite nervous at this final table. He's been at plenty of APAP final tables in the past, but he's kind of not, it doesn't feel with it. A bit early in the day for him, maybe, to be making a final table. He's going to need to step up his game if he wants to win this bracelet, though, because there's some good players at this table. Well, I was explaining, Tom, yeah, that's this will be Dory's 4th final table of the week. She's already she was top of the Plon leaderboard. She added points again yesterday, so she's actually now got enough points where if somebody won if a female player won the main, they couldn't go ahead of her. So which is quite nice, because it means yeah, because in a way, yeah.
Really keen.
Yeah. So but she's obviously looking double bracelet hunting. Wants to win this one and then win the overall female player as well. But she'll be playing for the rest of the week as well. So, and no doubt, her and Gabby have a bit of side bet on which one of them gets the most points at the Worlds. So, raise from Ricky under the gun. He makes it 350 to go. Decision on Bastian on your left-hand side, and he's going to make the call. Philip folds, as does Dory. Decision back round on Kevin. He folds. Alex in the small blind is going to make the call, as does Bernard. So 6, 7, 3. It's gone check, 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 and Alex checks the deuce on the turn. Bernard bets 750. Fold from Ricky. And a call from Bastian. Alex gets out of the way, so it'll be 2 players to the river. And it's a 6 on the river. $1,600 is the call, and it's called by Bastian. Ace 9 for Bernard, and it's Queen 10 of clubs. So he's turned the flush, and Bastian will win that. That's going to put trying to look now who our short stacks are here. I'd say Kevin is one of our short stacks. Alex is probably the other one, actually. So the 2 to the top right of your screen.
I will make sure you know when it's 10 minutes and 5 minutes.
So Philip and Kev in this hand, and Ricky has checked on the big blind, so there'll be 3 players to the flop. We're just getting a little bit of change sorted. So Philip wins that one.
Raise 7.
So Alex makes it 700. And Bernard makes the call. Ricky folds. Bastian folds. And Philip calls from the big blind. So we'll be 3 players to the flop. And it's 9-8 ace. And it goes check from Philip. Check from Alex. And Bernard makes a bet of 1,000. Alex says I'm all in. And he yanks the call. And it's ace queen for Alex. It's jack 9 for Bernard. And it's a 3 on the turn. And a 9 on the river, which means Bernard is going to river trips. And we're just going to get a count here. Whichever one of them lost that hand was either going to exit or be very much the short stack here with 10 minutes left to go at the level before we eliminate. And Alex has 300 chips remaining. Really, with about 10 minutes left of this level, there's only one option here for now, and that's to get chips in the middle.
Wurde aber schon über Mikrofon auch schon. Kein Plan. Und kein Trinkgeld, ja?
Alex is all in. And just the blinds to get through. He's going to get a caller from one of them, I would have thought. Philip says, yeah, I call in the big blind. So Alex has got king jack, and it's king 7 for Philip. It's a king jack at risk. And it's queen queen 5. And a 6. Chop possibilities here still. And a deuce. So that's double up number 1 for Alex. And she has 10 minutes. All you can do is keep doubling up. Yeah. This could be fun for the next 10 minutes because I think I know what she might be. I think I know what she might be doing. So on we go. So that 300 has now become 700. It's probably going to need. Let's see, the next. So the next short stack is probably about 8,000. So deuce queen, 8-9 king. So already under the gun. Alex is already all in. 7.5 minutes left of this level. So all in from Alex, fold from Bernard, fold from Ricky, Bastian folds, Philip folds, Dory folds. Is Kevin going to find a call? He says, yeah, I'm going to call. So Kevin's got ace 8. It's queen 3 for Alex. It's a queen 3 at risk. And it's 6 deuce 4. King needs to be a queen or a 3 or 5. And that's no good. And we're going to lose Alex in 7th place. Really unfortunate with the hand before that put her in that situation. So the players can breathe again. So with 6.5 minutes left of this level, we will not eliminate anybody now at the end of this level, and we'll move on. Plays for the flop of ace 10 4, and it's Bastian and Philip, and it goes check check. So we see a 6 on the turn, which brings up the third spade. Goes check check again. Jack on the river. And bet from Bastian, and Philip folds. So on we go. So 4 players to the flop of 5, 10, 8, and it goes checks round to Dory, who bets, and the others fold very, very quickly. So Bernard's raised it to 500, and Bastian makes the call. So it'll be 2 players to see the Queen, 10 and 3. So Bastian bets 1,000 on the river. So the board is now Queen, 10, 3, 10, 8. And a decision on Bernard. He's got some time now. And he seems to still be trying to just kind of get used to the 15-second shot clock.
Raise 5. Bei YouTube. Hat er gesagt, ja. Abfahrt eingeben, dann sieht man das.
Eingeben YouTube und dass du das Stream fragen. Ja. 30 Sekunden bitte. Kannst du selber, ich habe vorher kommentiert mit selber und mit
1 minute left of this level, and then blinds will go up again. But as we just bust Alex not too long ago, then we won't have an elimination at the end of this level. So players will just carry on. So for anyone just tuning in, this is the Survivor Shootout final table. Players start with a 10k starting stack on a 20-minute clock, and we eliminate a player at the end of each level.
Service, Penalties, vielleicht irgendwann mal. Danke. Bin nicht kommen. Ich hatte kein Service. I don't know what a service is. Maybe we can make a... Ich habe nochmal nach vorne gerufen.
Kevin's made the call. So there'll be 3 players to this flop, and it is Jack 3 Ace. And Ricky bets 1,000, and the other 2 fold. So blinds now 200, 400. Ricky raises it up to 1,000 and gets that through. Oh, actually, I'll tell a lie. He doesn't. Phillips made the call, so it's 587 is the flop, and it's gone check check, and we're going to see a jack on the turn, and Ricky goes to bet, and Philip folds, and Ricky does eventually scoot. See, I predicted that was what was going to happen. Ricky takes down that pot. So it's a call from Philip, and Dory's made the call as well. Kevin folds. Just the blinds then. And Bernard raises it up to 2,100. Decision on Ricky in the big blind. And he's going to fold. And Philip's going to make the call. And Dory's going to make the call. So it's going to be 3 players to the flop, and there's 6,500 in this pot now. And it's 9 ace king. Actions on Bernard, who makes it 2,000. Quick call from Philip and a quick call from Dory. So 3 players are going to see the turn, and that pot now is about 13,000. 4 on the turn. And Bernard says, I'm all in. And Philip folds, having quietly worked out how much it is. Dory says, I'm going to call. So Dory's got 6-7 for the flush draw, and it's king 10 for Bernard. Here comes the river. And it's a spade on the river. Gives Dory the flush. We'll get a quick count on Dory's stack, and she's going to get, well, way more than a double up. But was actually, Dory was only playing about, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6,000 behind, roughly. 5,925, I think it is. So was kind of committed, priced into that now to take the chance of the flush draw. So on we go. Dory very much now in the safety zone, and Bernard is going to be our short stack. But he's got a little bit more than Alex did when she was in this position. 13 minutes left of this level. It's his button this time. So Philip folds under the gun. Dory folds. Kevin folds, and Bernard's going to fold. He's playing about 2.5, 3, about maybe 3,500. Next short stack is probably going to be Kevin O'Hanlon now, and he's playing, let's see, 7. He's got about 8. So actually, Bernard only probably needs 1 double up, and he could get himself out of the danger zone. So he's not needing to make any rash decisions now at the moment. And he's all in this hand. Bear in mind with the blinds at the moment at 200, 400, so he's going to hoover up 600 chips. But Bastien says I make the call. It's ace 10 for Bastien, ace 4 for Bernard. It's the ace 4 that's at risk. It's ace 4 diamonds, and it's ace 10 of clubs. Ace 4 at risk. Here comes the board, and it's queen queen 10. Really not looking good. No diamonds there at all for Bernard. Queen gives an opportunity of a chop with a king. And a 4 on the river, and we're going to lose Bernard in 6th place. And we're down to 5. So players had about 11 minutes left on this level, so we won't eliminate anybody now at the end of this level. They can all breathe again for a little bit longer. Yeah. They have 31 minutes before we get to that point. So Kevin is all in, and decision on Dory. The board is deuce 8, 6, 9. And she's going to make the call, and Kevin's got ace queen, and it's 10-8 for Dory. So just needs to avoid an ace or a queen. And does, and we're going to lose Kevin, which means we are now down to 4. So these 4 players are in the money, and we're now quite a few levels ahead. So you've got about 50 minutes of play now. So Dory very much the chip leader here at this final table. So these guys have got loads of play now, no issues on eliminations. We've got 7 minutes left of this level, and they've got another 2 full levels before we would look to eliminate again. This event should actually play out with actually, it should be natural eliminations, because if players are kind of paying attention to what's going on, they have no option but to kind of shove. But obviously we're now a whole level ahead here, so... So Dory makes it 1,000. Going to very much keep the pressure up. Ricky's going to call from the small blind. Bastien gets out of the way. So 2 players, and the board is 10 Jack Deuce, and it's gone check check. 7 on the turn, and Ricky checks again. Dory's going to fire. 1,000, and Ricky folds. Dory, very experienced player, will keep applying the pressure with the stack size she's got. She's a chip leader here. Bastien second in chips, and Ricky, bottom right of your screen, is going to be only just our short stack. But as I say, they've got plenty of time before we need to worry about eliminations. Another 46 minutes before that will be a problem, but they will obviously carry on playing. We might lose someone else between now and then. So Dory folds and Ricky folds round to the blinds. Bastien bottom left of you, or left of your screen. He raises up, Philip folds. Oh. Dory gets a walk and shows ace king suited. Flop here, and it's 9-8 queen, and Bastien checks after Dory's checked. So Dory checks again on the 6th turn, and so does Bastien, which means they get to see the 7 on the river, and it's gone check again. Dory's got pair of 7s for the rivered set, and that's good enough. On we go, 3 minutes left of this level. So 2 players to the flop of 8, ace, 9. Bastien checks, and Philip fires out a bet of 1100. Just over a pot-sized bet from him. And Bastien makes the call. So we'll see a turn. And it's another 8. Goes check, check this time. And king on the river is a check. Philip's going to count out some chips and bets what looks to be 3,400. And Bastien says I call, and Philip mucks instantly. Bastien shows ace deuce. And That's now going to make Philip, I think, our shortest stack at the table, but they've got a bit of time, so there's not an elimination at the moment because they're ahead exit-wise. So we've got 1 minute left of this level, and blinds will then go up to 300, 600. So on we go. It's Ricky's button, which means it's Bastian small blind, Philip big blind, Dory under the gun. She folds. Ricky folds his button, so just the blinds. And Bastian makes up the small blind, and Philip checks the big blind, so they're going to see a flop together, and it's ace 7-3 with 2 diamonds. And Philip says them all in. Bastian quickly folds. So blinds go up as we start a new level. But no eliminations because they are ahead on exits.
For me, it's good. Can I fold? Because you want to make me. Yeah. You have another level, right? I just.
So raise from Bastian, and he gets that one through on his button, and on we go, four-handed. So Bastian makes it 600. And Dory makes it the small blind, so option on Ricky in the big blind, and he's going to call. So 3 players to the flop. And it's 5 jack ace. It's gone check all the way around, so we see another jack on the turn. And they're checking that as well. So we'll see a queen on the river. And Dory bets 1,000, and Ricky's called, and Bastian folds. Dory folds, saying I'm playing the board, so Ricky wins that one. And on we'll go. So on we go. Blind still 300, 600, and it'll be Bastien to act first. Left-hand side of your screen. And he folds, Philip folds, Dory folds, Ricky gets a walk, and on we go again. Ricky makes up the small blind. Decision on Bastien in the big, and he's going to raise it to 1600. Ricky makes the call, so that'll be 2 players to the flop. And it's ace 10 4, and Ricky checks. Bastien reaches for chips and Ricky folds. Ricky's playing about 11,000. Philip has just under 5, so he is our short stack here now. And I don't think there's a huge amount of difference between Dory and Bastien chip-wise, actually. I think they're pretty much similar. Table started with 80,000 in chips, so they probably got between them about 30,000 each, maybe 32, 33,000 each. So on we go. Dory under the gun this time. Ricky's button. Bastien in the small blind, Philip in the big. And Dory raises it up to 1,500. And Philip says I'm all in, and Dory says I call. So Dory shows ace 4, Philip's got king 9. It's the king 9 that's at risk here. This is the medal bubble, and it's deuce 5 queen. Philip needs a king or a 9 here. Jack's no good, offers a 10 as well as an option. 10, 9 or a king, and a king on the river is going to give Philip a double up. Dory gives a wry smile. Not a lot you can do there. Philip had a few outs there on the river. Any 9, any 10, any king. So main event day 1D is about to start. Players are just gathering, are pretty much actually taking their seats now. We've also got Raz side event, Rise Championship here, Open Face Chinese Championship going on today, and the Fusion Championship tonight. So 5 different events on the go today. I'm pretty sure once this final table finishes, some of these players will be jumping into another event. So four players to this flop, and it is 10 queen 4. And Ricky says I'm all in, and very quickly Bastien's asking for it, says I'm all in as well, which means Ricky is at risk here. And it's queen 10 for Bastien, and it's pocket aces for Ricky, and it's the aces that are at risk here and behind. 5. Ricky's going to need to pair the board or an ace. And it's not a queen or a 10, and he pairs the board with a 4 on the river. So aces and 4 plays against queens and 10s, and it's a double up for Ricky. Pairs the board on the river, gets a double up. And the two chip leaders at this table have now doubled up both of the short stacks. So that's very much the playing field leveled up. I'd say that Ricky and Dory are now fairly even on chips. They've both probably got about maybe 26k each, 80,000 chips in total. I'd say that Philip is playing about 10k and Bastian about 18. Pretty much. But we've got about 25 minutes before we'll need to eliminate a player, so plenty more play to go here, yeah. But we're going to see a flop, and it's deuce 8 jack, and it's Ricky and Bastian in the hand. It's gone check check. Another jack on the turn. Board is deuce 10-5. And Dory fires out 4,000 after Bastien had bet 1,500 into that. And Bastien folds. So we've got 2 minutes left of this level. So next hand, Dory's button, and it's Ricky in the small blind, Bastien in the big, which means it'll be Philip to act first under the gun, top left of your screen. And he folds. Action on Dory, and she raises to 1,500. And Bastien says them all in. Dory says a call. It's pocket 10s for Bastien, and it's pocket 9s for Dory. It's the 10s at risk. Here comes the board. And it's Jack, 6, ace with 2 spades. Dory has a 9 of spades. A 9 on the turn. Need to just avoid the 10. And I think we might be losing Bastien in 4th place. And we do. And Bastien is going to depart, just missing out on the medals. And we will be down to 3 players.
Not bronze. It's lovely, the medal, but not bronze. Huh? No, another bronze. Another bronze. Now are you a big blind? I say you make the big blind.
So blinds are now 400, 800. And it's Jack, 6, 9. And bets 1,000 and gets called. So we're going to see a turn. And it's a 10 on the turn. And Ricky's reaching for chips and bets 1,100. And Philip makes it 4,000 to go. And Ricky's made the call. So we're going to see the river card. And it's a 6. It goes check, and Philip says them all in, and Ricky folds. And Philip shows King, Queen. So that hand's leveled up the stack. So Dory very much our chip leader here at this final table now, and I would suggest the other two are. Let's have a look. Yeah, there's not a lot between the other two players. Yeah, I'd say so. Pretty much. Philip's got about 18,000. Ricky's probably got about 20, and Dory has the rest of the chips in play, which would be 42. So she's got just over half the chips in play, three-handed. So it's Ricky's button, and he makes it 2,000 to go, and the other two fold. No issues on an elimination now, because we're another level ahead now. So the guys have got about 35 minutes to play before we would look to eliminate. So, 3 players, we're all going to see a flop. And it's 7, 5, 10. And they've all called. Dory's bet of 1,500. So we're all going to see a turn. Big pot building here. 6 on the turn. And Dory makes it 3,500. And it's a call from Ricky, and Philip folds. So just Ricky and Dory to see the river. And it's a jack on the river. And 8,000 is the bet on the river from Dory. And Ricky's going to fold.
Hai visto la mano, amore? Face.
So on we go.
Mica, anche a me mi porti un bicchiere d'acqua, ti prego. Al cinese arriva. Sì, sì. Veloce, quello è incazzoso, Cristo. L'ha mai fatta perdere. A me mi hai dato il 800. Quanto hai detto che prendi? Ecco perché potrei vincere se lo facessi.
So on we go. Not a lot of action past few hands. All got tightened up as the medals and bracelet have now made their way to the table. It's just what colour medal are these guys getting? Philip, top left of your screen. Dory, top of your screen. And Ricky, bottom right of your screen. 3 remaining players. We have...
Anzi, più fai piano, almeno uno esce.
So Dory makes it 2,200 to go from the small blind. Decision on Ricky. And he's going to make the call. So it'll be 2 players to a flop. And it's Deuce King 7. And Dory goes to bet. Ricky folds very quickly, and we move on. So open face Chinese final tables just started, and there are 5 players on it. There is Christine Cruz, who played for Germany earlier on in the week. Jonathan Rees, who played for Wales earlier on in the week. Simon Brooke and Dwayne Stacey. And I do not recognise the final gentleman, but I will find out what his name is. The plan is, once this finishes, we will see if we can get over there and catch a little bit of that final table. Probably we'll do that on Facebook Live. So stay tuned for that. So Ricky's all in a call. It's aces for Dory, and it's king 10 for Ricky with a king 10 on the board. Dory needs to pair the board or an ace. And an 8 is not going to be any good, and Ricky is going to get a double up through Dory. So that's roles reversed for Ricky from earlier on, where he had his aces and he needed the board to pair, and it did. This time he needed the board not to pair, and it did. Kind of all running well for the man from the Midlands. It's running well when it matters. So on we go.
Oh, lovely hand.
So Dory raises it up. So we've got about 3 minutes left on this level. No elimination at the end of this level, as we're down to 3 players. Blinds will be going up to 500 and 1,000. Dory's just asking how much Philip's got. So Ricky makes it 3,000, and Philip folds and Dory folds.
Che bello.
So Philip is all in. And Ricky's going to fold. And shows pocket sixes. As Philip says, pair's a pair. So Dory folds, just the blinds then. Ricky in the small. And he makes up the small blind. And Philip checks, so we're going to see a flop. And it's deuce, ace, 10. And it's gone check, check. And it's an 8 on the turn. It's gone check, check again. And another 8 on the river. It's gone check. Queen high, says Ricky, and that's apparently good enough. So Ricky will just pick up the big blind now. So blinds will be up next hand. Okay. So Ricky raised it up and Dory's called. So all diamonds, 4-3 queen. And it's gone check, check. Five on the turn. Dory checks and Ricky fires a bet of 2,000 out and Dory folds. So we are now 19 minutes left of this level and we will eliminate a player at the end of this level if we've not naturally lost one. She had any forced eliminations on this final table, but that's a good bunch of players that kind of understand the game, so they're looking to get their stacks in when they need to, rather than it being left to a chip count. So Philip folds from the button, small blind with Dory, and she makes it 2,500 to go. Ricky in the big blind, bottom right of his screen, and says he calls. So these guys are still on a 15-second shot clock here as well. So it's 8-6 queen. Dory says 2,000, and Ricky's going to call. 3,000, sorry, and Ricky calls. So we're going to see a turn here. And it's a 4 of spades. So Dory checks. And Ricky checks. And 7 of diamonds on the river. About 10,000 in the middle. There's only 80,000 chips in total in play between these three players. And it's gone check, check. Ricky shows ace deuce, and it's king 6 for Dory. So she'd flop bottom pair, and that's good enough to win that one. So I would say Philip's playing about 12k, and the remaining chips are pretty much split fairly evenly between the other two. Probably Dory's just a little bit ahead. Might be something like 36, 32, 38, 30, something like that. So raise from Dory on the button and goes fold. So Philip is the short stack at the table, and he's the one that's going to be at risk at the end of this level. But looks a very good player, and I'm sure he knows exactly what the situation is. So on we go. Ricky's button this time. And it's fold. Dory gets a walk. Shows a bit of paint, and on we go. So Philip's all in from the button. Dory says a call. Decision still on Ricky though. Action still on Ricky, bottom right of your screen. He says I guess I fold. So he does. So it's King 3 for Philip, and it's Jack 10 for Dory. It's the King 3 at risk here. Philip says he shoved when he saw the king. It's a King 3 at risk, and it's a Jack on the flop. Puts Dory ahead. 6 is going to be no good. It's going to be a king, and only a king is going to help Philip here. He's going to finish in 3rd place. Or a 3, should I say. Yeah, apologies. Sorry. I didn't see the 3 as well. Yeah, okay, that's fine. And we lose Philip in 3rd place. Bronze medalist. Very well done to him. We'll just organise a photo with Philip. Very well played, and we will be heads up.
I don't want the bronze. I have to work. Now we can play. Questo tavolo finale è un po' spaitato tutti. L'irlandese l'ho buttato fuori. Povero che.
So we're heads up. Dory with the significant chip lead here now. But so basically the players are now going to have this level plus another level to find a winner. If we don't get a winner at the end of that, it will go to a chip count. So they're going to have about 20, maybe 30 minutes. So we're going to see a flop here, and it's Deuce, King, Queen. And 6,000 is the bet from Ricky, and Dory makes the call. So we're going to see a turn. Four on the turn. Ricky checks. Dory says I'm all in, and Ricky folds.
I know you don't have the king. Non ha mai il K, amore. Mai il K. Perché non ti dà sempre, figa?
So Ricky makes up the small blind, and Dory decides to check her option. So we're going to see a flop, and it is Ace 10 7. Goes check check. And check check again on the 4 on the turn. And King of Diamonds brings the third diamond, goes check, and there's a king. King on the river, and Dory literally whips the chips, knowing that she knows a pair of kings is going to be good. And Ricky just smiles. It's all okay. So the players have got 10 minutes left of this level.
The best girl of the event.
If you're going to win the Tiffany, does that mean I can have that one?
No. I go home, but for my little boy.
Did you bring a second bagel?
No. But we came with a car. Call.
All in and a call. We have an all in a call, and it's Queen Jack for Ricky, and it's Ace Jack for Dory. It's the Queen Jack that's at risk. Dory needs his hand to hold. Let's see the flop then. And it's an ace on the flop, 10 and an 8. So there's options here for Ricky. But Dory's ahead. 3 of diamonds is no good. It's a king or a 9. And a king on the river means Ricky's going to get a double up. Ricky will get a double up. So it's 14,800 was the count. So that will put Ricky up at about 30,000 now, but Dory still has 50,000 in chips, so still has the chip lead. So Ricky lives to fight another day.
No, però ce l'ho un altro.
Yes.
It's never lose.
That's why you're not here, because you would have free bet.
Qual è la differenza fra primo e secondo il coso?
On we go. Players have got the this remainder of this level and the next level to find a winner, or we will effectively eliminate the second place player. And the board is 10-9 ace, and it's gone check check. And it's a deuce on the turn. 8 on the river. And Dory shows the nuts. Checked all the way down, hoping to induce some action, but it didn't happen. So raise up to 2,500, and we're going to see a flop. And it's 4-6-3, 2 spades. Dory checks, and Ricky's going to bet 4,000. And Dory makes the call. So we see the king of spades on the turn. That's 3 spades now. And Ricky bets 4,000. And Dory makes the call. Big pot building here. And a deuce on the river. Is Ricky going to fire again? Ricky says I'm all in. Dory says, oh dear. What to do? What to do? She's asking for a count. And she says a call. So it's got the 6, and it's ace-5 for the straight for Dory, and that is going to be it. We have our winner. Really difficult situation. Ricky put her in an amazing spot there. What does she do? What to do? A fantastic call from Dory, and we have our champion. Very well played for her. We're just going to get some photos organised for our runner-up Ricky and our winner Dory. All done. And I've got a funny feeling Gabby might be in that one as well. I'm going to kill this stream and head over to the Open Face Chinese to see if we can catch some of the action over there and see what's going on. But very well played to those. Hope you enjoyed this this stream on the Survivor Shootout. We'll catch you for more from Vienna later in the day.
blonde leaderboard so that she can have a little squeal. She got bronze last